I think if he isn't already, I think by the time he retires, he will be. Chendo's the big one because, I think it's easy. The Salgado Carvajal debate is become easier, and kind of what Salgado had over him has narrowed and narrowed over time. And Salgado was a great right back. But with Carvajal, I think, and he had that dip in form after the World Cup, I think it was. And for a while, a lot of people were writing his obituaries, and a lot of people really felt like, he needed to be replaced, or like the team, he wasn't the same, he was struggling. And I think he was struggling, but I do think he bounced back in amazing fashion. Like, he really did. And he wasn't the only one struggling after the World Cup, but he has been awesome. And with Chendo, the reason Chendo is going to be hard to surpass is because of Chendo's insane longevity. Like, Chendo was just around forever. And he had played at a high level for a while. He was also part of an iconic era. He had an iconic performance against Diego Maradona, which goes down in history. Yeah. But he is going to be, I think it's going to be between them two, ultimately, by the time Carvajal retires. And Carvajal may just win out because of recency bias, but also because of the Champions League titles, the three-peat. I said this on Twitter recently, basically right after Carvajal's cross to Benzema over the weekend, or Tuesday, sorry. He continues to be the most underrated crosser to me in all of Europe. Like, he just puts those in with such accuracy, with such a good dip and whip, that it's hard to defend, but it's also makes it easier for the striker to get in on the end of. So I'm totally on board with the Carvajal praise. And I obviously agree that, I really like Mendy. I think he's awesome. I think he has a really bright future with Real Madrid. But he is not, I think it's a bit insulting to Carvajal to compare them already. And Carvajal contributes so much offensively, and he's good defensively. That's the thing. Like, he's not, sometimes we categorize players with a certain niche of like either defense or offense. So Trent Alexander-Arnold can attack but can't defend. Mendy can't defend but can attack. Marcelo can attack, can't defend. I think Carvajal is a nice mix of both. Carvajal is reliable defensively and contributes offensively. And that's a huge skill that not many fullbacks can come to get.
Yeah, to me the narrative here is that the narrative here speaks about the fact that Carvajal, for some reason, people tend to believe that he hasn't been playing well for the last 4 or 5 seasons. And this is a mistake to me.
It's not true.
Because he, as you mentioned, he struggled for 1 season, maybe even 2, where he wasn't playing proper football, and Real Madrid struggled because of it, because Danilo wasn't around anymore, and obviously the team struggled. But he's recovered. Maybe he's not reached the peak level he reached before his heart condition, but he's not been playing. He's not been in bad form for the last 4 or 5 seasons. This is just not. It's just not true. And to me, this is the narrative that is going around in Real Madrid and has been going around for a while. And to me, this is the way I feel. Like, everything I read and all that. It's just underrating Carvajal's impact in the current squad a lot. Like he was playing, it's to me like people perceive that he's playing as bad as he was playing right after his heart condition, where he's actually recovered and contributed in a nice way. So I'm glad that we're not the only ones noticed, and also Ala Madrid, the original poster, mentioned and noticed Carvajal's influence, because I think he's been great lately.
Yeah, there's that stat that was floating around that Mendy's only been beaten off the dribble like once this season, and now it's 2 because he had one over on Tuesday. Carvajal has only been beaten 4 times, and that's a stat that we don't like. For some, we're not putting that out there. He's been really impressive defensive, and he has successfully dribbled. And by the way, it's a position that like defenders or attackers are constantly trying to dribble past you because you're on the wing. He has successfully tackled 73% of the players who try to run past him, and that's the 4th best in the entire league. So that's just the purpose of that is just to highlight how good he is defensively. And again, he contributes offensively too. So,
yeah,
fully on board Carvajal praise.